Today we're learning this expression, ballpark figure. What does it mean? It means an estimated price or an estimated number. But it's not exact. It's not an exact estimated number. It's not an estimate. It's a ballpark figure. So I can ask you, can you give me an estimate? And you say, no, I don't know exactly. Can you give me a ballpark figure? Just a number that's close? A ballpark figure. Let's hear some examples.
Give me a ballpark figure. How much?
Why don't you give me a ballpark figure?
Oh, give me a ballpark figure.
Do you have any idea how much this party cost me? A ballpark figure.
Example, I took my car to the mechanic because it wasn't working right, and I asked the mechanic, can you give me an estimate of how much it's going to cost? An estimate. An estimate. Remember the pronunciation, not estimate, but an estimate. I asked him, can you give me an estimate on how much it's going to cost? And he said, well, I don't know exactly. I asked him, can you give me a ballpark figure? He said, well, yeah, around $300. That's a ballpark figure. So he gave me a ballpark figure. Let's practice. Did I ask the mechanic for a ballpark figure? That's right. I asked the mechanic for a ballpark figure. Did he give me a ballpark figure? That's right. He gave me a ballpark figure. He said around $300. So remember this expression, a ballpark figure, an estimated number that is not exact, just maybe close. Today we're learning catch him red-handed. When you catch somebody committing the crime, when you catch somebody doing it, when you catch somebody doing it in that moment, you catch them red-handed. Let's look at pronunciation. When I say catch him, him is not a stressed word, so the H is silent. So you hear catch him, catch him. Did they catch him red-handed? Yes, they did. Or if I have two people, catch them. Them is not a stressed word, so the TH is silent and you hear catch him. It's the same sound for singular or plural. Catch him, catch him. Catch them, catch him. It's the same. You hear the same. So the question is, did they catch him red-handed? And the answer is, yes, they did. Let's hear some examples.
The only way to nail a guy like that was to catch him red-handed.
We'll catch him red-handed.
I could catch him all red-handed. This is awesome. So the question, did they catch him red-handed? Yes, they did. What if I give a complete answer? To change the verb catch in the past, we say caught. The AU makes a sound back here, caw. The GH is silent, and the T is a stop T, caught. Not caught, caught. Make a stop T. Put your tongue up and stop the air, caught. They caught him red-handed. But him is not a stressed word, so the H is silent. So you hear caught him. What happened to the stop T? Well, now that T is between vowels, phonetically, so it changes to a fast D, and you hear caught him, caught him. They caught him red-handed. They caught him in the moment he was committing the crime. When we talk about police, police is plural, so I use they to refer to police. They caught him. The police caught him red-handed. And again, if I'm referring to one person, a man, I say him. Pronunciation, caught him, caught him. If I talk about more than one person, them, the word is not stressed, so you don't hear the TH. And again, the T is a fast D. Caught him, caught him. So you hear the same thing if I'm referring to one person or more than one. Caught him, pronunciation, caught him. Caught them, pronunciation, caught him. They have the same pronunciation. Let's hear some examples.
Kid's been breaking laws since kindergarten. You caught him red-handed. Who are you?
I caught him red-handed.
Well, we finally caught him red-handed.
Caught him red-handed.
What?
You're crazy, man. I've never been here before.
Barry? Michael and Dylan?
Yeah, caught them red-handed.
Example, he was stealing and the police caught him. They caught him while he was doing it. So you can use the expression, they caught him red-handed. Let's practice. Did they catch him red-handed? That's right, they caught him red-handed. Today we're learning keep track of and lose track of. They mean the opposite thing. Let's take a closer look. Keep track of means to monitor and know what's happening. Example, I have a lot of meetings at work and they're all at different times and different days. It's a complicated schedule and I need to keep track of all these meetings. I need to know when they are, what time, and what day. I need to keep track of all the meetings at work. And there are a lot of them. so it's difficult to keep track of all the meetings at work. Let's practice. Do I need to keep track of all the meetings at work? That's right, I need to keep track of all the meetings at work. Is it difficult to keep track of all the meetings at work? That's right, it's difficult to keep track of all the meetings at work. Do I need a schedule to keep track of all the meetings at work? That's right, I need a schedule to keep track of all the meetings at work. And the most common example of this keep track of is to keep track of time. It's difficult to keep track of time. It's difficult to know what time it is all the time. When you have fun, it's difficult to keep track of time. Let's hear some examples.
No, I used to keep track of time, through jobs and boyfriends and stuff like that. Now I can...
My mother wrote everything down in order to keep track of time.
So, I've conceived of another way to help our prisoners keep track of time.
Don't worry. I don't keep track of the time.
I just can't seem to keep track of time.
God, it's so complicated. I can't keep track of it all.
And what happens if you don't keep track of time? If you don't keep track of time, then you lose. You lose track of time. That means you don't know what time it is. And if you're having fun, if you're doing something, it's easy to lose track of time. Let's hear some examples.
I love that you can still lose track of time just hanging out.
I'd lose track of time, forget things, get confused.
Winnie Foster was beginning to lose track of time.
Hey, lose track of time again, buddy?
Example, in the past, lost. In the present, lose. Use the long oo sound, like food and moon, lose. And the S is pronounced with the Z sound, like zebra, lose. Lose track of time. In the past, lost. The O is pronounced with the aw sound, like saw and all, lost. He lost track of time. Example, he went out with his friends and he was having fun and he forgot to call his wife. And his wife said, "What happened? You didn't call me. Why didn't you call me?" And he said, "I'm sorry, honey. I lost track of time." You hear with lost track, the T in lost is silent because it's between consonants. So you hear lost track. The TR in track is pronounced with the ch sound like chicken. Track. Lost track. He lost track of time. He was having fun. Let's hear some examples with lost track of time.
Sorry, I lost track of time.
Well, where were you?
I lost track of time.
Well, I bet he just got so excited about the show, he lost track of time.
Then this guy walks into my office and says, those same banks got greedy, they lost track of the market, and I can profit off of their stupidity.
What happened? Was he having fun? That's right, he was having fun. And did he lose track of time? That's right, he lost track of time. Now his wife's mad at him. So remember these expressions. They mean the opposite thing. If you keep track of something, example time, it means you monitor it and you know what's happening. And if you don't keep track of time, you lose track of time. In the past, lost track of time. The expression is make ends meet. The expression make ends meet means to make enough money to live and pay your bills. Let's hear some examples.
I'm tired of having to take temp jobs just to make ends meet.
The only guy out there trying to make ends meet.
My genius will be wasted trying to make ends meet.
You're barely making ends meet on my salary.
Your dad worked 2 jobs, barely made ends meet, right?
Some folks are having a hard time making ends meet.
Example, he had 1 job, but it wasn't enough money to pay all his bills. So he couldn't make ends meet. Then he got a second job. He got a second job to make ends meet. He works 2 jobs to make ends meet, to make enough money to pay all his bills. And it's not easy. It's difficult. So I can say he has trouble. He has trouble making ends meet. We see after has trouble, we have to use a gerund. He has trouble making ends meet. Let's practice. When he only had 1 job, could he make ends meet? That's right, he couldn't make ends meet. And why does he work 2 jobs? That's right, he works 2 jobs to make ends meet. And does he have trouble making ends meet? That's right, he has trouble making ends meet. So remember this expression, to make ends meet. It means to make enough money to live and pay your bills. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, subscribe to our channel. And if you want to become a member, click the join button. And we'll see you next time.